This is Mike Anuzzi at musicaccelerator.com, and today we have an incredible singer-songwriter. Her music has been featured on TV, including MTV's The Hills, The City, Taking the Stage. She is a touring artist and just finished her 25-city tour with John Waite. She has also opened for B.B. King, Gin Blossom, Eddie Money, Pat Benatar, and many more. Recently released a new music video to go along with her brand new album. Please welcome Raquel Aurilia. Raquel, thanks for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You know, music's always been a big part of your life. I heard you started at a young age. Can you walk us through your journey kind of from the start and how you made it to where you are today?
Yeah, well, music's always been in my life, and my mom used to play the piano, and we would torture people that came over and make them listen to me sing. It was funny. Anyone that came over was fair game to listen, but we started that with chorus and just around the house because I'd grown up with it. My sister also played instruments, and we were in the band and all that fun stuff, but it really wasn't until later, and I say later in life, I went to college and everything else, and I've always wanted to be a singer and songwriter, but I just didn't know how to get started, so I met a producer in Los Angeles named Tony Papa, who does a ton of stuff for Weird Al Yankovic and James Brown. He's done things for. He's amazing. So we did a demo together. He sent me one, and then went in the studio. And next thing I know, we're recording my first album. So that's kind of how it got started.
That's so great.
In a nutshell.
Just real quick, how many albums have you done?
I have 3 albums out right now that are finished up on iTunes and out and available. And I've been writing. I want to say I have another 10 songs, easily, maybe more, that we've been writing and that we'll probably demo. Some we're already starting to demo out in Nashville, and so that's what I've been doing now, is going back and forth to Nashville to perform and to write. So the last 10 songs or so are not on an album; they're just actually going to be maybe shopped out to Nashville to different artists that are already doing things that are more country based. So I'll probably have a country vocalist sing a few of these songs and demo them to different artists out there in Nashville.
That's so great. I'm excited to hear that. I know that you've been hitting the scene in Nashville pretty hard. Can you give us an idea of what that scene is like for you?
Well, Nashville is amazing to me. On every corner you can go to any place and hear amazing music with so many talented songwriters and singers trying to just, make a name for themselves there. So what I've been doing is each time I visit, I try to do a show or an interview, and then I set up as many writing sessions as I can while I'm there with different artists. I write a lot with Jennifer Aiden, who wrote Blake Shelton's #1 hit. So she's got a great reputation there as far as a songwriter. She's fun. And I got to write with the people at Banner Music, and those guys are great. And Simon Reed, and there's just been amazing people that I've been able to write with. So each time I go, we try to do different artists. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. So that's kind of what a trip for me is always like. It's like we try to get as many things as I can packed in a week or so, and then we come back, and then I come back home, and then I go back out there. So that's what's kind of doing is write as much as we can when I go.
Absolutely. And I know that you hit the stage pretty hard in Nashville, too. I saw a bunch of pictures online and some videos of you on YouTube performing all around Nashville. So that's great.
Yeah, it's been fun. And like I said, there's just so many different places to play and opportunities. So whenever I can, I try to get out there and just try to create more of a base there. Since I don't live there, I try to get there as much as I can.
Raquel, where do you live? Where is your home base?
I live in Phoenix, Arizona. So I've been here off and on for, goodness, for a while. This has kind of been my home away from home. I'm from New Mexico, from Santa Fe, but after college, I came here and got my master's at ASU, and I just never left. So this has been my home.
That's great. I've had a chance to hear your songs. Like I said, I hopped on your website, I hopped on your YouTube, and your writing is very intimate. So what kind of steps do you go through when you write a song?
It's so funny. Writing is it is very personal to me. A lot of the songs that I've written are from personal experience. A few of them are just for fun or something vicariously that I saw going on around me. But I think when I go to write, it's so funny because I'll write, like our last trip, I wrote a sad song, then I wrote a happy song, and then I wrote a fun song. So I think it just depends on the mood that you're in when you're writing, or like say you walk in and you're like, gosh, I'm kind of tired. Let's write an upbeat song today. Sometimes I'll write a song that came to me in the middle of the night, like Shattered is kind of that song that literally just kind of, it had been playing the melody in my mind over and over and over, and writing the words. And a lot of times when I write, I don't actually write anything down until something has actually stuck, like a melody or the lines have stuck, and then I'll sit there. That's when I start writing down, my actual lyrics, which it sounds funny because sometimes I'm writing music and it doesn't look like I'm doing anything. But when I go for a run or do something like that, that's when I kind of like clear my mind, and that's when I kind of write. But it depends on the mood you're in or what you've been working on. So, so that's kind of how I just approach it.
Absolutely. That sounds cool. I've actually heard a story about Taylor Swift doing this. She always keeps a recorder around with her, and whenever she gets the melody, she kind of sings it into the recorder or sings the lyrics into that. I know I do that as a songwriter. It sounds like you do that too. It's
oh, for sure.
Definitely a useful tool to have.
Yeah, because you just don't know, and sometimes that melody won't come back around. And if you didn't record it, you just might have lost it. So I've done that too, where I've didn't get there in time to I'm going to go record this, and something else came up, and I just didn't do it, and I'm just like, oh, that was such a great melody, and you hope that it's coming around again. But yeah, sometimes that's how it comes. Because I played a little bit of piano. I've never taken guitar, which I'm actually going to start doing now, taking guitar lessons so I can play. But a lot of times melodies for me just come, like I write differently than most people. So a lot of times I'll already have a melody down when I come in to write with someone, and I'll sing it to them. But it's not because I've sat there with the piano or I sat there with the guitar. It comes to me in a different way. I just hear it.
Absolutely. So. It seems like your brain is always being creative. It's always coming up with a new project. So what do you have in the works coming up that you're really excited about?
Well, I'm really excited about the new songs that we demoed. First of all, there's a song that we just finished, and it was a co-write with two other writers that I did a songwriters round with at the Belcourt Taps in Nashville, and we had so much fun writing the song. It's called When Love Takes Over. It's one that we're going to start shopping now. I think we just started shopping it. I'm excited to get these last ones going, and I just finished touring with John Waite. We just did a stint in Texas, and I think he's doing it was an acoustic set, so that was a really fun, intimate setting out in Texas to do those three shows that we just finished, and hopefully there'll be more coming. So I'm excited to see what's coming up as far as more touring opportunities and more writing. So no matter what, I'm always writing, but I think the thing that I'm really trying to look forward to this month and this summer is doing more live shows, because that's really, to me, like how you meet the fans and create a fan base. And going out with John the first time around when we did like 25 plus shows. That was how he has the most amazing fans in the world, and they're so welcoming, and they have always been welcoming to me. And that's kind of how your fan base gets started as well, because people that have never heard your music all of a sudden show up to a show, and there you are, and now you have a new fan, which is really cool. But I think it's really important to be on the road as much as possible, getting in front of people so they can hear you live. An acoustic is very vulnerable. You can't hide behind anything. It's you and a guitar. So you really have to be present, and you really have to be in control of your voice. And there is no gimmicks. There's nothing. It's you and a guitar, and you're on stage, and there you go. So it's really intimate. That's why I love the acoustic tour with John. It's been really fun.
Cool. And just so I know, how many minutes do you have on stage? Like maybe 5, 6, 7 songs, something like that?
Yeah, we've been doing 7 songs it depends on, there's been shows with him where he wants 45 minutes, and there's been shows when he wants around 30. So we've been getting in about 7 songs. Each show that we just did in Texas, we were in San Antonio, Austin, and Houston, it was about 7 songs. And then, I'll kind of preface each song and what it's about or why I wrote it. And so that gives you a little bit of time to talk about each one just a little bit before you sing it, because it is a more intimate setting. So yeah, it's been 30 minutes pretty much, a little bit, maybe 35 max, but around 7 songs.
Awesome. And you really don't have a lot of time to prove yourself to a new audience while you're on the road in a new city. So it sounds great that you have that ability to connect directly with the audience and share your story before you share your song. It sounds awesome. I can't wait to see you live. So congratulations on that tour. Do you have any
Thank you
do you
so
have
much.
With your tour experience, what is your kind of day-to-day life like?
When we're on tour, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, when we're on tour, literally, it's funny because if you've done the music so much with, like, say, my guitar player Damian Martin, he's from Nashville. We a typical day is the shows usually aren't till the night, and a lot of times if it's a bigger show, you're doing sound check as early as 3:30 or 4, so you're kind of there early. This tour was a little bit more laid back because we didn't have to be there for sound check till around 5. So, and the shows usually doors open at 7. Shows start at 8. So literally, it's just when I'm on the road, I try to do as much as I can writing while I'm just kind of in that downtime, because you do have a little bit of downtime during the day to kind of do your thing, and then you go in and rehearse. Or like, we were working on a new song, Damien and I, so we'd go to the hotel that we're staying, and we would just play and rehearse that, and then we'd go back in, because we tried a new song the very last show, which is a song that it's on my first album, but we had never played it together, so we literally just were winging that night. And it came out great, but we rehearsed over and over and over. So, rehearsal really, and then you go into your sound check, and then you just kind of make sure you've got your sound stuff all down, make sure your merch is in gear, and then you just kind of waiting time. And then and then I get treated to John Waite every night singing, so that's my favorite part. Afterwards is to go in the audience and hear him sing every night. It's really fun.
Absolutely. That sounds like such a blast. And really, you're wearing a ton of different hats while you're on the road, as the songwriter, as the artist, as the promoter, as the person selling merch, as the person meeting all the fans.
Yeah.
It sounds exhausting.
It's funny because I don't really have anybody, like when I was on tour the first time with John, my one of the background singers, his name is Billy Trudell. He toured with Elton John for like 7 years, 8 years. He's amazing, but he kind of took on that role for me the first time around, which is really super helpful. He kind of like helped me and made sure all my merch was out, and made sure we had sound check at a certain time. So he would drive us when we were driving in between cities, and because like we drove this whole tour, we just drove back and forth to Texas, which is only like 2.5, 3 hour drive each city. But this time around, if I have a friend at the show, I'll be like, can you go put my CDs out, or can you watch with them? Can you hang with them? But the venues we played were really great about selling merch and putting things out. So yeah, it's just a matter of me going and doing all that. I don't really have a road manager or anybody that's helping me do all that once I'm on the road, which is, so yeah, you just kind of do it yourself, and it's pretty laid back. So, and John's people are Tim Hogan, who's his bass guitar player, does a lot of his stuff for him. He kind of manages him on the road, so he's very helpful with me and always very accommodating, if I need to put merch out or do anything like that. He's great.
Awesome.
So,
that's really great.
Yeah.
I just have one more question for you. Can you offer any advice for someone trying to make the leap into the music industry?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky industry because it's not like, with acting or modeling or anything like that, where you just go and audition somewhere and there you go, you get the part. Singing is so different, and it's so, it's just, to me, like, I would offer whoever's wanting to start out, I would suggest they sit down. If they want to be a writer, I would suggest they just sit down and start writing as much as they can, collaborate with as many people as they can, and to, find the opportunities of other, like-minded people to get into the scene as much as you can and get plugged in to your writers around you. Like, National Songwriter Association in Nashville is great for that. I would highly recommend that. And that came to me later in my career. I just found out about them last year. So but those kind of things that are available to artists and songwriters are really important to plug into, so that you meet other people and then possibly have more opportunities to tour and start your own thing, or get in a band if you want to do it, or if you're a solo artist, then you can start meeting people who know people who help you record, and find great engineers and great producers. It's just, to me, it's a matter of just connecting within your network and finding out who that is. And like I said, in Nashville, I would highly recommend the National Songwriter Association to like plug into that and join a community like that to get started.
Awesome. Raquel Aurilia, it has been so great hearing your experience, and thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. It's so nice to finally meet you. Thanks for being here today.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Awesome. This is Mike Annuzzi at musicaccelerator.com, and we will catch up again soon.